Since the beginning, young Christians have felt the call to head out somewhere far from home and serve God. You hear about the mission field, you think third world, Africa, but what about this? For a fortunate few, Glacier National Park is where they're doing their work for the Lord. Idealistic young Steve German was of two minds during the last school year. He wanted to serve God during the summer break, but he also wanted to play hard.
I love to backpack, I love to go into the backcountry, I love to summit mountain peaks, I love to kayak.
Then he heard about a group called A Christian Ministry in the National Parks that trains and places believers in the parks to run worship services, but also work, live, and be a daily witness there.
It was like bingo, perfect opportunity, a combination of my passions and the ministry.
Amy BLOOMQUIST always wanted to get to Glacier.
I grew up in the Northwest, so I've always been a mountain girl, and I love just seeing mountains and glaciers being the crown of the continent. I had to see what that was about.
So how'd she get here? She went to work for a Christian ministry in the national parks as a recruiter.
And then recruited myself.
Dick Camp has been directing the efforts of Steve, Amy, and 22 other young believers at Glacier. After these students are connected with work opportunities, they're able to be the body of Christ daily as they work and live in Glacier.
It's important to be salt and light, and they do that well.
BLOOMQUIST believes the worship services meet a big need in the national parks, giving workers and visitors a chance to focus on their Creator in wild parts of His creation.
So that's kind of the why we're here, but so much more of it is just living in the community and being a part of the community and having that Christian influence. I think that's the biggest part of the ministry because that's lived out 24/7.
The services give ACMNP's recruits a chance to dip their toe in preaching and ministering. Camp says that means many end up giving their very first sermons before unsuspecting park visitors.
But if I'm a guest and I see a Christian young person up there talking about the Lord, they'll be impressed and they'll be blessed.
A lot of times I feel a little intimidated, to be honest, and I have to pray a lot. God, am I really ready to do this? Am I really prepared? But as Paul wrote to Timothy, don't let anyone look down on you because you are young.
And since they come from all sorts of denominations and backgrounds, they have to learn to put differences aside.
Having so many different denominations represented in it and having them all come together and be able to be the body of Christ, that's pretty incredible.
It does a lot of getting you out of your comfort zone and out of a comfort bubble.
The ministry also organizes a support staff, often locals living right outside the parks, so these young people aren't totally out on their own.
Sometimes lonely. We have a shoulder to cry on. We have a place for them to come see us.
Be mom and dad away from home, have them in for a meal.
If we ever need support in any way, prayer, or just some cool old people to hang out with, they're there for that too.
Sometimes us older people may get a little down on young folks and the younger generation, quote, quote, but when you see these kids, you get an inspiration.
These believers do bless, but also end up getting blessed, just being in these parks.
It's pretty time-consuming what we do here, but there's still so much time that we can go explore.
I come from a small town in flat corn land, Illinois, so to come out here and see the majestic mountains and the snow-covered peaks, sometimes you just wake up and look at it and say, to God be the glory, great things He's done. It's just so marvelous out here.
So imagine spending a summer serving your Creator in some of the finest creation He ever made. Paul Strand, CBN News, reporting from Glacier National Park.